Also, what does Lebanon Tinder even look like if you're a dude? Does it just have more black hoods than Guantanamo Bay? I'm sorry. You can get mad at that, but at least I'm raising awareness.
Ladies and gentlemen,
The Semi-Daily Night Show with Gary TV, your host, Gary.
Tonight's ceremonial first pitch. And please welcome the President of the United States.
We did it, Joe.
just making sure you're paying attention.
Right-wing media creators just got caught being paid by Russians. Tim Pool, Dave Rubin, and Benny Johnson, much like their takes on current events, didn't actually know anything and weren't directly aware they were being psyoped. Tenet Media, the media company that funneled the money that have been named in the DOJ indictment as influencers, because they're not journalists, who were being paid by Russians to put forth a pro-Russian narrative. Tenet Media would hire these right-wing influencers for extremely large amounts of money. The potential two accepted $400,000 a month and a $100K signing bonus. Tim Pool agreed to $100K a video and no signing bonus. You can't trust a grown man in skinny jeans to negotiate well. And for the record, if any foreign country wants to pay me $100K a month, I will absolutely do it. I get called a grifter and a propagandist for free. Some Ukrainian flag in the bio NPC always accuses me of spreading propaganda every time I point out Kamala hates minorities more than Russians. And yet, Putin isn't sending me money. I have PayPal, Cash App, and unfortunately, even Zelle. Do I spread propaganda? Absolutely, but no foreign or domestic government wrote those talking points. I wrote them at 5 a.m. off 6 shots of espresso and way too many Zins while getting pissed off reading Twitter. If you think a guy yelling jokes in a bucket hat is actually spreading propaganda because it goes against your opinion, you might be the one that actually listened to real propaganda. But can some intelligence agency at least offer me money so I can say no? Tenet Media would tell everyone that there was a secret really rich businessman paying for all this, and there were 2 Russian assets actually in the Discord telling the hosts and producers what stories to speak about. Edward Gergonian was the fake man, basically the Tinder swindler that likes Putin, who was the private businessman that was sending all the money. But like Tim Pool's hairline, he didn't exist. Tim Pool is supposed to be a journalist. He's just a dude who wears a beanie 24/7 and cries on stream. I'm also the victim of a struggling hairline and a forehead so big, even a Boeing plane could land on it with broken landing gear. But a beanie in a suit is a violation of the Geneva Convention. Look it up. Don't. I made that up. And I genuinely don't think Tim Pool knew he was taking Russian money. I mean, look at those jeans. You aren't allowed to wear those in Russia. You're given an Adidas tracksuit and a bottle of vodka at 9 years old, and then you have to fight a bear. Tim Pool can only fight behind a keyboard. But I'm asking the DOJ to put this man in jail because of how annoying his trolling tweets are. Trolling as a journalist in your almost 40s means you haven't experienced the touch of a woman, except your hosts who you pay. Maybe there's some skeletons under that beanie, Tim. Beanie Boy released a statement. He says he is the victim. The only victim here is your head. Let it breathe, Tim. Imagine someone who constantly calls out the left for playing victim is now playing victim. It's hard to feel bad. He ended it with, "Eat my Irish ass." Ew. You tell people they need to have kids all the time and are almost 40 years old and still don't have kids. Clearly, no one is eating your ass, and that was a cry for help. He says he never created any content for Tenet Media. Tim, come here. I'm going to teach you something that might help you be less of a victim. It's called research. I looked at the YouTube channel. You run a podcast on there. You had 3-hour episodes on there. You're not the victim here. It's anyone who listened to 3 hours of you yapping.
Is the enemy. He's an angry elf.
Putin just said which US president he would vote for. Russiagate's back. Russian influence on American democracy is like pumpkin spice lattes at Starbucks. It keeps coming back every year. Putin said he'll support Kamala Harris while in an interview, and he said her laugh is infectious. It is infectious, as in I feel like I'm dying when I hear it.
Surprising endorsement from Russian President Vladimir Putin. He says he supports Kamala Harris for U.S. president.
Her laugh is so expressive and infectious. That means that she's doing well.
All right, that's kind of funny. And the DOJ doesn't find this funny, which makes it even funnier. CNN is pissed mainly because, like the truth, sarcasm isn't tolerated here. They're mad Putin said he supports Kamala because Putin is their boogeyman. If they aren't talking about Trump or Putin, they're talking about... Wait a minute. No, what the f***? I said I'm not getting paid. I want to get paid.
This is an American election, and the vice president feels very, very strongly that only the American people should be deciding who is the next president of the United States.
Elections should only be for American CNN? Then why do 12 states not require an ID to vote? Fuck, November's gonna suck. I don't care how much pumpkin spice there is. The government is running Tinder ads in Lebanon. For the record, I'm not on Tinder nor in Lebanon. And this was reported. You can never be too careful when dating a Latina. One second, my girlfriend just texted me, "Who's this in Lebanon?" Also, what does Lebanon Tinder even look like if you're a dude? Does it just have more black hoods than Guantanamo Bay? I'm sorry. You can get mad at that, but at least I'm raising awareness. The US Central Command funded ads are actually telling users in Lebanon not to attack the US, and even linking the ad to a tweet that has images of the military aircrafts we use, which, to be fair, they probably had a cousin who has seen these planes before. If you're asking if this would work, well, yes. See, telling people in Lebanon, specifically people with no relationships, no wife, and no kids, not to attack America, they'll end up wanting to. It's called reverse archaeology. Read a book. You would know. The military-industrial complex craves a war, like I crave a morning beer when I get to the golf course in the morning. And being told don't do something makes you want to do that exact thing. This is the laziest psyop I've seen since Republicans Dexter Laboratory that one chick on Twitter who dresses like a middle American traditional woman from the 60s and also talks like middle America in the 60s. Oh, I'm the bad guy? She's the one that said it. The government psyoping single men to attack the public is about as old as Biden. Actually, older, which I didn't think you could get older than that. Besides a Hellcat to get people to commit war crimes, the US will use women to lure men in to commit crimes. It's called a honeypot. Mainly because guys who fall for this sit in their rooms and never go out like a bear in hibernation. Only the bear is addicted to anime, video games, and social anxiety when it comes to talking to women. Conor McGregor announced he might be running for president of Ireland. McGregor is built to be president. He has a substance abuse issue. Always on vacation, probably cheats on his wife, and he hates minorities. What? We elected Biden.
It doesn't matter whether or not they're the victims of society. The end result is they're about to knock my mother on the head with a lead pipe, beat up my wife, take on my sons. They will, or a portion of them will, become the predators 15 years from now.
MMA fans are going to be upset at that. MMA fans, come here.
I just don't give a
You people shame new fans and call them casuals. Watching a sport doesn't make you a professional. And I like UFC, but people will watch 3 UFC fights and suddenly no fighting. Never been in a fight, never done a boxing class, and then call you a casual. Dog, you're overweight, bet what's last of your paycheck on the fight, and live to watch men wrestle. Your life is casual. No one likes an armchair quarterback, but I really despise Buffalo Wild Wing booth fight analysts. McGregor as president would be the best thing we have seen, though imagine this man declaring war.
Do you wanna go to fucking war? We'll go to war with you, yeah? Security, a little sausage, everything.
And he would declare war on Russia, not to help Ukraine, just because he hates Dagestan. See, Russia? I said something nice. Give me money. And when he negotiates tariffs with England,
The Money Channel? Who the is this shit? I told you to take.
His press conferences would at least be entertaining.
Does this mic work? Well then, fuck that mic!
He has the suits to be president, and given he probably won't be fighting again, this might be good timing.
These custom-made suits aren't cheap. You know what I mean? This solid gold pocket watch. 3 people died making this watch, you know what I mean?
I really hope he wins, and he probably will, unless his opponent is Dagestanian or sobriety. The creepiest thing on the internet just happened. Destiny, your liberal cousin's favorite streamer, is being stalked by AI. Destiny, as unlikable as a guy who literally has blue hair and let his wife have a boyfriend, might be having a schizo breakdown. And not in the funny way that I call the voices in my head chat. But he might have just discovered a swarm of bots harassing him. So, at around 2 a.m., he started streaming, going into a bunch of accounts that are probably bots replying to all of his tweets. But not in the normal OF models trying to get you to follow them kind of way, but actually sophisticatedly roasting him. One even called him a cuck, and admittedly, that was my bot. Best $6.99 I ever spent. I'm kidding. It was $17.99. While Destiny is streaming to his also blue-haired fans at 2 a.m., he's showing people all the bots, and then in his chat, someone links a video to a man named Mr. Chalakian. And he can't find anything on this guy who is supposed to be a lobbyist and is a national security expert who's advised multiple presidents. But Destiny can't find any legit information of him online. All he discovers is a YouTube channel, and all the comments are from bots as well. Then in his chat room that he owns, that he was in while off stream, someone actually rebuttals that Mr. Chalakian is a real person with the court document to prove he is real. But the response is weird. He geolocates the address of the person in his chat room and that sent the document, since this is a chat room he owns on his website. The IP address is attached to Wisconsin. Now, I wouldn't put it past someone in Wisconsin who has nothing better to do than troll Destiny at 3 a.m., but the email the person uses is for Destiny and a bunch of random numbers at gmail.com. Meaning, someone either made this just to mess with Destiny or this is a bot account. When he opens the court case document, it's for a federal court case for the Chalakian guy against the FBI. But the court case PDF spells Massachusetts wrong and the text isn't the font court cases use. So he digs deeper into if this Chalakian guy is real, and it gets weirder than letting your wife have a boyfriend. The guy wears 2 mics in all his videos, which as someone who records videos weekly, no one does that. And when you look at images of the guy, all the backgrounds look fake. The book on the shelves don't have any names. If you've ever used an AI tool to generate images from scratch, they leave out details. The way Destiny's wife would leave out she's married when she's at a bar. Let me show you. Here's Midjourney, one of the most popular AI generation tools. I asked it to create a bookshelf background. It generates slowly. I don't know why that says fast. That lies like Destiny's ex-wife when she said he satisfies her. It gave me these 4 images, so I enhanced one of them. And when you zoom in, you notice that the books don't really have titles, just like the books behind Mr. Chalakian. AI also isn't very good at generating hands. It's one of the main things it can't get right for some reason. And when you look at his hands on the images on his website, he's got bigger hands than the Sasquatch from those beef jerky commercials that used to play in between the X Games. If you don't think AI bots are on social media to stir up controversy, you probably also believe your wife who has a boyfriend when she says she loves you. Bot farms have been a problem for a while. In 2019, it was discovered 19 of the 20 biggest Christian Facebook groups were ran by troll farms in Europe. And Russian troll farms have even caused protests here in the US. So if you wanted to drive one of the biggest political streamers to the young demographic crazy, you don't just need to tell him that his wife actually loves him. Okay, that was the last one, I promise. These make me laugh. And also, since I'm slightly roasting Destiny, it's important I prove that I'm not a bot like his Twitter replies. Yeah, I fucking told you, people. Now, as annoying as Destiny is, I wouldn't wish this on anyone. The same way I wouldn't wish your wife who has a boyfriend leaving you. I lied. I had one more.